We invited my MIL to live with us after her surgery. She slowly took over, rearranged the living room, changed my son's bedtime, and told my friends I had postpartum psychosis. When I asked her to stop, she said, "You're unstable." Everyone agrees. I checked my phone. There was a group chat I'd been removed from. But not before the screenshots were forwarded to me. It was titled, "How to Get Her Out." I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but here I am. I'm a 34-year-old mom living in Denton, Texas. I've been married for 8 years to a man I thought had my back. We have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a baby girl who just turned 5 months old. After my daughter was born, I struggled a lot. The kind of struggle people don't like to talk about: panic attacks, crying at night, that constant feeling like I was doing everything wrong. I got help. Therapy, medication, everything. It was getting better. Slowly, but better. Then my mother-in-law broke her hip. She had no one else. Her daughter lives in Oregon and barely speaks to her, and her husband passed away 5 years ago. So of course, like any decent people, we invited her to stay with us while she recovered. I didn't see it at first. The first couple weeks, she acted grateful. Said thank you a lot. Made jokes about being a burden. Cooked us dinner and cleaned the kitchen without being asked. I thought maybe it was going to be okay. But little things started happening. First, she moved the living room furniture around. "It's better this way," she said. "The light comes in better for the baby." Okay. I let it go. Then she started doing bedtime for my son without asking me. She told him 8:30 was the new rule, even though I had him on a 7:30 schedule since he was born. I said something and she laughed. "It's just an hour." She started calling my daughter her baby. She bought her clothes I didn't like and made comments like, "You should really dress her in softer colors. Baby sense stress, you know." I said thank you. I smiled. I held back everything inside me. Then came the bigger things. One afternoon, I walked into my own kitchen and heard her whispering on the phone. She was talking about me. She's not stable. She cries in the shower. I hear her. I froze. She didn't see me. That night, I told my husband I felt uncomfortable. He told me I was overreacting. "She's just trying to help. You've been through a lot." 2 weeks later, my best friend Claire sent me screenshots. A group chat. The title was, "How to Get Her Out." My stomach turned. My hands were shaking. I didn't want to look, but I did. I read every single message. My husband. His mother. His cousin Megan. Claire was in it too, but she'd stayed quiet just to watch. ML. She's slipping again. The crying is daily now. Megan. Maybe if she lashes out, we can call it a mental health emergency. My husband. We can't live like this forever. I just want things to be normal. Then this from my mother-in-law. Push a little more. She'll crack. They were planning to make me snap. Gaslight me into a breakdown so they could get me out. My own husband was part of it. They were mocking me. Making jokes. Planning it like it was a group project. I stared at my phone for over an hour. I didn't cry. Not this time. I felt something rise up in me. Rage. Cold, steady rage. They wanted me gone, but I wasn't going anywhere. I was going to stay. And I was going to make them regret every single thing they'd written. I didn't sleep that night. I laid next to my husband while he snored like nothing was wrong. I looked at him, this man who once held my hand through contractions, who cut the cord when our son was born. He had joined a chat to destroy me, to label me unstable, to push me until I broke. I made a plan that night. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I got calm. Cold. Quiet. The next morning, I smiled. I kissed my husband on the cheek. I made pancakes and asked my ML how she slept. She smiled back, not knowing I'd seen everything. That was step 1, pretend nothing changed. Step 2 was Claire. I called her when I knew no one would hear me. She was sick over it. Said she joined the chat because she thought something fell off and she didn't want to believe it until she saw it for herself. She offered to help. I told her I didn't need help. I needed proof. So we set traps. I left my journal out with fake pages about dark thoughts. Stuff they'd want to find. They did. 2 days later, I caught Megan photographing it while pretending to borrow my laptop charger. I let them believe they had something. Then I went to therapy and told my counselor everything. Showed her the screenshots. Told her I feared they were trying to trigger me into a breakdown. She documented it all. Next, I started recording. Texas is a one-party consent state. I hid an audio recorder in the living room lamp. It picked up everything. MIL whispering to Megan. Just one more push. She's almost at the edge. My husband, what if she hurts the baby? ML. Then it'll be over faster. I saved it all. Hours of audio. Then I went to our pediatrician. I asked her to note how healthy and cared for my children were. I made sure my daughter's checkup was on record. I had them document everything in my name, not his. Claire came by more often. I had her stay over, help me organize the files. We saved everything to the cloud, to USB drives, printed it all out. I emailed it to a lawyer friend of hers, just in case. I started writing down everything my ML said to me. One night, she cornered me in the laundry room. She said, you know, if you weren't here, things would be easier for everyone. I looked her straight in the eye and said, maybe, but I am here. She narrowed her eyes. Not for long. But she had no idea how wrong she was. 2 weeks later, I made my move. It started with the audio files. I edited together a clean 15-minute clip of the worst things they said, clear voices, clear threats, no cutting context. I played it for my therapist during a session. She was horrified. She said, this is coordinated psychological abuse. You need to protect yourself and your kids. I asked if she could write a letter. She said she'd do better. She'd submit a full report to Child Protective Services on my behalf against them. I wasn't neglecting my kids. I was being targeted. Meanwhile, I let the group chat keep going. Claire still had access, so she kept feeding me updates. Megan suggested taking my kids on a day trip without telling me. My husband agreed. Said it might shake her enough to leave. That was the last straw. I didn't blow up. I didn't scream. I printed out every message, every screenshot, every doctor note, therapist note, pediatrician form. I filed for an emergency custody hearing. Claire's lawyer friend took the case for almost nothing once he saw the evidence. But I didn't tell them yet. I let them stew. One afternoon, while my ML was at her physical therapy appointment, I sat my husband down. Told him I knew everything. He tried to deny it at first, played dumb. Then I pulled out the folder. I watched his face go white as snow. You planned to push me out. To paint me as unstable. To take my kids. He didn't say a word. Just kept staring at the files. Then I told him, you'll be served soon. I'm going for full custody. And I'm going to show all of this. He started begging. Said it was his mom's idea, that he felt stuck. Said he thought I was losing it. No, I said. You chose this. And you're going to lose everything. ML walked in halfway through. She saw the papers on the table and smirked. You think anyone's going to believe you over your own husband and his family? I handed her the flash drive. Play it. She did. Her own voice, loud and clear. Just one more push. She's almost at the edge. She dropped it like it burned her. I looked at both of them. I'm done pretending. This is war. But it wasn't over yet. Because 2 nights later, someone broke into Claire's car and stole one of the backup USB drives. Nothing else was taken. Just that. No broken window. Clean job. That's when I realized they knew they were losing. And they were getting desperate. I had backups. They didn't know that. After Claire's car was broken into, I called the lawyer. He said, this is getting dangerous. We need to move now. The next day, the court granted me an emergency protection order. My husband was served while he was picking up takeout. He came home in a rage, pounding on the front door, yelling for me to talk to him. I had already taken the kids and gone to a safe place, Claire's cousin's house, 30 minutes out of town. I didn't see him again until court. The judge didn't play around. I had everything printed in color. Emails, messages, therapist statements, audio transcripts, photos. The pediatrician wrote a letter saying my children were healthy, safe, and attached to me. Not one person backed him. Not even Megan. I didn't want to believe how far gone my husband was. But when he stood there, not denying what they did, just saying, "We thought it was best for the kids," I knew he was already gone. And I didn't cry. The judge granted me full temporary custody. ML wasn't even allowed near the house anymore. CPS had opened a case against them. But here's the part that sticks. That same night, after the hearing, I went back to the house to pick up the rest of my things. I took Claire and her cousin with me. I walked through that living room one last time, the furniture she rearranged, the baby swing she claimed as hers. I found a photo of me on the kitchen table. Someone had written on it in red marker, "Unfit mother." I stared at it for a while. Then I set it down, calm as ever. That's when I made my final move. I posted everything, not on social media. I sent it to her church, her knitting group, her old coworkers, her HOA. I emailed it with a simple subject line, "In case you still think she's a saint." I didn't lie. I just attached the truth. Within days, she was banned from her church. Her reputation ruined. Megan? Fired from her daycare job. Claire made sure the messages got to the right parents. My husband? His boss heard the audio. "We don't tolerate this," he was told. He lost his job. I didn't even have to press charges. The fallout was enough. And me? I moved. Not far, but far enough. Got a new job. New locks. Kept my kids safe. Started over. But I won't pretend I came out perfect. I made one mistake. I let them in. I gave them room to turn on me. And I'll never forget that. I still double-check locks. Still wake up some nights expecting to hear her voice. But I survived. They tried to paint me as unstable. So I showed them what a stable woman can do when she's cornered. And they'll never forget it.